What's up, people? It's the Future Goat here to talk about this week's Raw. This week's Raw was a pretty good Raw, I would say. I liked what I saw. The only thing that was a minus was that Brock Lesnar wasn't there. I know this kind of breaks his streak that he was going on, where he was showing up every week on Raw, but it is what it is. Honestly, the show didn't need him, but it would have been nice to see him because, I'm a Brock Lesnar fan, so it would have been good to see. We started off the show with Kevin Owens' group and Seth's group having a little brawl. Kevin Owens' group ends up chasing Seth's group away. We have the Street Profits versus Mojo Rawley and Riddick Moss. The Street Profits win that match easily, and Riddick Moss ends up pinning Mojo Rawley to become your new 24/7 champion. I love how Riddick Moss has been on this roster for less than what's he been here for, like 3 weeks? 3 weeks now? 3 weeks now? No, it's less than a month for sure, and he's already won more titles on the main roster than Sami Zayn. Oh my gosh, that is crazy, son. How Sami Zayn been here for years, and now Riddick Moss has won more main roster titles than Sami Zayn. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. We got Becky Lynch versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. This was a dope match. Every time these two have matches, they kill it, and they showed it again. Great match between these two. Becky Lynch ends up retaining a title, and then Shayna Baszler comes out. Now, it's weird because she attacks Becky Lynch, but then she does this thing where she bites Becky's neck and ends up, I think what they're supposed to portray is that she basically bites it hard enough that it starts gushing out blood, because Shayna Baszler's mouth was bloody and Becky Lynch's neck was bloody. Like, obviously, yes, the blood was staged, because clearly if you bite somebody's neck like that, it's not that much blood is not supposed to come out, all right? But it's like, it was weird. Like, it wasn't a terrible way to debut Shayna Baszler. It was more like a WTF moment. Like, really? That's what we're doing? Like, it was kind of funny when you really think about it. Like, I don't hate it. We'll see where this goes, but it was just a very weird way to debut Shayna Baszler. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to make us say, like, she's that much of a badass that when she... I don't know. I don't know what this was. I don't know what the point of this was, but we shall see what happens, man. We have Aleister Black versus Akira Tozawa. Aleister Black wins that match easily. Then he starts cutting some vague-ass speech. I don't know what the hell he's saying. I wish we could go back to Silent Badass Aleister Black. When he was in NXT, he barely talked. He was just kicking ass and taking names. His feud with Velveteen Dream ended up winning Feud of the Year, especially when we realize how that feud won Feud of the Year when Aleister Black barely talked. Velveteen Dream was doing most of the talking. It's crazy. I miss Silent Badass Aleister Black. This new talking, inspirational, whatever the frack this is with Aleister Black is weird. Because I know last week he was sounding like Bo Dallas with his inspirational speech about, never giving up and persevering through and yada yada. All you have to do, whatever is Bo Lee, whatever frack. But this week it's just, I don't know what the hell he was saying, this vague shit. I don't know what he's talking about. I wish he would, honestly, I love Aleister Black, but I wish he'd shut up. I wish they would stop writing shit for him to talk, because he's much better when he's a silent badass. So if we can go back to that, that'd be fantastic, Meek Mahan. Please and thank you. We have the Drew McIntyre segment. Drew McIntyre, MVP, host of VIP Lounge. Was back on Raw for one night. I'm surprised they brought back MVP. But they brought him back to host the VIP Lounge, and the special guest was Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, MVP tries to lobby to be Drew McIntyre's manager. Basically how Brock Lesnar has Paul Heyman. But Drew McIntyre said, forget that. Basically screw off, and, gave him a Claymore kick in the ring. And that was how it ended. That's how that segment ended. Drew McIntyre points to the WrestleMania sign. And it was pretty cool. It was a nice little segment. MVP, great talker as always. Personally, when I see him on Raw, I saw MVP on Raw, and I'm like, this guy would make a great manager for somebody. Maybe an Apollo Crews. Like, somebody brought this up one of the 434 admins brought this up, and I could bring it up here because they had a good point. Like, MVP would make a good manager. Maybe for like an Apollo Crews or a Cedric Alexander. Like, somebody who needs MVP, because those are the type of guys that need MVP. Hell, if you wanted to go back to Bobby Lashley like they did with the TNA when they were in TNA together, I'd be cool with that also. I would honestly be cool with that. But MVP, I feel like they should have him be a manager in WWE, okay? He should be a manager for somebody, because he is too good of a talent to waste, to just let him go out back to the indie scene. Like, no. Let MVP come here, let him manage somebody, and they could take off. This person would take off under the guidance of MVP. Especially if MVP's doing the talking for them. This would be great, because he showed it when he was talking to Drew McIntyre. MVP can cut a good promo to this day. He knows his character. He knows what to do. He's a veteran of this business. So having him be a manager for somebody would be pretty dope. So if they could do that, WWE, if you can do that, Meek Mahan, that would be very great. The Future Goat very appreciate that. Please and thank you. Next we had speaking of Cedric Alexander, he had a match tonight, surprisingly, because we haven't seen Cedric Alexander in how long, man? This man had a match with Angel Garza, but before it could happen, Humberto Carrillo attacked Angel Garza, started beating him up until Humberto was removed from the ring by WWE officials. Then they have Angel Garza versus Cedric Alexander. Angel Garza ends up winning that match. And I got to say something, man. Angel Garza, as I'm looking at him more, I feel like WWE should try to push him as the new big star for the Latinos, you know, because overall big star in general. But if y'all want to talk about for the Latino people, I feel like it should be Angel Garza, because obviously the best representative to me of the Spanish people, well, even though, you know, maybe they'll disagree, but I thought it was Eddie Guerrero. That was the guy. That was the guy for the Latino people. And I think Angel Garza could be that guy. Like, he's not going to be on the level of Eddie Guerrero, but he can be pretty close, okay? Because he's got what Humberto and Carrillo lack, okay? Like, they're all great wrestlers, but Humberto lacks charisma. Andrade has that. I mean, excuse me, Andrade. Angel Garza has that. Andrade lacks mic skills. He can barely speak a lick of English. Angel Garza can speak English pretty good. Like, he's not excellent at the language, but he's pretty damn good at talking. Like, he can talk he can make us a couple of sentences out of what he's saying, you know? So, and plus him and Vega together look like a pretty good stable to have, you know? So, if they ever want to consider this, like WWE, if you ever want to do this, like, if y'all want to push Angel Garza, other and not Andrade, you know, maybe push him a little bit, but Angel Garza gets most of the push, I would be cool with that, because he is pretty damn good. The man is a great wrestler. He's got great charisma. He's got good personality. He knows his role, and he does it very well. You know, he's the ladies' man, you know. He's a handsome-looking man, because he is, and the ladies love him. Like, he literally on Raw was talking about, oh, how the women can't resist me, and I'm a ladies' man. And you literally have the women in the audience who on Raw basically screaming, ah, when he started tossing, when he said that. So it's like, the guy knows his role. He knows what to do. So I would be perfectly cool if they decided to push him over Andrade and Humberto as the new Latin star for the Latino people, or just the big star for all of us to enjoy, because he's got the whole total package to me, man. So let's consider pushing him. We had Rhea Ripley versus Sarah Logan. This match happens because Sarah Logan was upset that Rhea Ripley told her, "Who are you?" backstage, when Sarah Logan basically interrupted her first, saying Rhea Ripley doesn't belong here. They have their match. The match ends quick. Rhea Ripley wins the match, shocking to nobody. The wild card rule in effect tonight. I see twice with Angel Garza and Rhea Ripley. Yes, sir, to the wild card rule. Then we have Charlotte Flair. You know, she's watching during the entrance ramp. Rhea Ripley's telling her, "Hey, are you finally gonna accept my challenge to fight me for the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania this year?" Charlotte Flair's like, you know, "I do what I want. You know, I'm the queen." And she's basically like, "How do you even know you're gonna walk out of TakeOver Portland as champion?" Which is a very interesting scenario, honestly. But I personally, to be honest, folks, I cannot wait for TakeOver Portland. It's gonna be a great show. Oh man, I'm still debating whether to watch that or the NBA All-Star game. I'm still debating on what to watch, but after seeing what Giannis picked, that NBA All-Star match game may end up being a squash match, because God, Giannis picked some bad picks, man. This man cannot be GM at all. Anyway, besides that point, we're still talking about wrestling here. We have Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley, which is a pretty good match. You know, Ricochet ends up winning the match. Surprised Lana didn't try to interfere in this match. This woman, your Lashley's wife, you don't even bother interfering in this match on his behalf. That's okay, whatever. We have Matt Hardy and Edge Matt Hardy and Randy Orton do a little segment. Randy Orton was getting ready to explain why he attacked Edge, but then Matt Hardy comes out. And if you heard him, like, this felt like a goodbye speech, honestly, because he was talking about his list. He's talking about how, you know, he used to hate Edge. Him and Edge were bitter rivals. You know, no one hated Edge more than me. But then I came around, you know, when Edge returned. I was very happy to see him. And, you know, Randy Orton, you took that away from him. Like, you tried to take that moment away from him. And then he's like, what getting me was he was listing his accomplishments with Edge, Christian, Jeff, and Matt. You know, talking about revolutionizing tag team wrestling and all the great stuff they did when they were in WWE. It felt like a goodbye speech to me, and I think it was. Especially if you got Matt Hardy's tweet from last night, where he basically said goodbye in a tweet and then a YouTube link. I think that basically saying Matt's gone. You know, like Randy Orton ended up hitting him with an RKO and then hit him with a concerto finish. So I think that was probably the way they decided to write Matt Hardy off TV. I'm sure he was perfectly fine with it, putting Randy Orton over as a badass heel, as a cruel heel. So I'm sure he had no problem doing it. Matt Hardy's going to be leaving. Clearly, it's going to be thanks for everything, Matt. We appreciate what you're doing. You know, it's a shame that WWE didn't capitalize on this man's broken gimmick, because he had potential, but WWE refused to capitalize on it, which made no sense to me. It was pretty stupid. But it is what it is with this company. You know, you never know, man. Matt Hardy's most likely going to AEW. Hopefully, he gets. He should go to AEW. Honestly, he should go there. You know, he should, because I think they'd let him use his broken gimmick over there. So why not go to AEW? You don't need to go to back to TNA. Excuse me, that's not TNA. It's Impact Wrestling. You don't need to go back there. Go to AEW. I'm sure you'd be good over there. They'd love to have you. I'm positive they would. But again, thanks for everything. I'm hoping Jeff doesn't leave with him, because, you know, I love Jeff, and I really hope Jeff comes back soon. If he can get his ass together, you know, get himself clean, and come back, you know, a good man, you know, a nice, a fresh, you know, rejuvenated man. Because I want to see Jeff Hardy again, and if he come back on SmackDown, that'd be fantastic. So let's do that. Jeff Hardy, please. Wishing you nothing but the best. Hoping you're clean, you get clean, and yeah, you come back. We closed off the show. Excuse me. We closed off the show with SHAYNA. Becky Lynch comes back, you know, after she got bit by Shayna Baszler. You know, she took the ambulance truck and left. Then she came back to the ring. She's basically putting Shayna Baszler on notice that she's coming for her. Ruby Riott talks about why she attacked Liv Morgan, basically saying because Liv Morgan is a follower, she always has been, and that she has to put her in her place. Just a reminder that, hey, you're a follower, you always have been, and you need to know your place in here. And this should be fun because, you know, Ruby Riott's a ring general, and she can work with Liv Morgan. Her and Liv Morgan are best friends, and, you know, usually when you're working with your best friend, you can pull off some good matches with each other. So I'm happy to see this. This should be a good feud. Cannot wait to see where this goes. All right? This should be fun. This should be fun. We closed off Raw with Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and AOP versus Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and the Viking Raiders. Seth Rollins' team ends up winning because of Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy pins Samoa Joe after Seth Rollins hit Samoa Joe with the curb stomp. And the heel stand tall to close out the show. Overall, pretty good show, like I said. A little disappointed that Brock Lesnar wasn't there, but and you really think about it, did he really need to be there? No. So I'm cool with this, you know. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Raw. Let me know what you guys thought of Raw. Overall, good show. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You know, I'm ready to hear you guys. Ready to hear the opinion of you guys, how you feel about this show. All right, it's the Future Goat, and I'm out. You guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. Peace. Yes, sir.